Here is what NBC had in 1966. A show they didn't understand, couldn't sell, and quietly tried to bury. Music. And here is what the world has now. A franchise worth billions. A real space shuttle named after its ship. A generation of scientists, engineers, and dreamers who will tell you without hesitation that a television show changed the direction of their lives. 3 seasons. 79 episodes. Canceled twice. The most consequential failure in broadcast history. We weren't doing so well. And it hurt, because we believed we had created something meaningful. These are the 12 facts they never put in the textbooks. 12. NBC called it too cerebral. The note still exists. Documented. Archived. Permanently embarrassing. NBC screened the original pilot, The Cage. A piece of science fiction built with real philosophical ambition, and rejected it. Their verdict? Too cerebral. Too slow. Too focused on ideas. They wanted action, simplicity, accessibility. So Gene Roddenberry rebuilt it. Reduced budget, more oversight, less freedom. What emerged with Star Trek as the world knows it? A version shaped from compromise, yet powerful enough to outlive every show NBC aired in that era. The irony has been echoing for nearly 60 years. 11. They tried to remove Spock. Before the show even aired, NBC had a problem. Spock, the pointed ears, the sharp brows, the alien look. The network believed he looked satanic. They pushed to remove him. Roddenberry refused. He stood his ground. And the character who would become the philosophical heart of the franchise, who would inspire debates about logic, emotion, and consciousness, almost never existed. All because someone thought he looked like the devil. 10. Martin Luther King Jr. saved Uhura. After season 1, Nichelle Nichols planned to quit. Her role as Lieutenant Uhura felt limited, underused. Then she met Martin Luther King Jr. He told her he was her biggest fan. She told him she was leaving. He told her she couldn't, because Uhura wasn't just a character. She was representation. A black woman on television, not as a servant, not as background, but as an equal, an officer, a symbol of a future that included everyone. Nichols stayed. History shifted because of one conversation. 9. The future was built from scraps. The Enterprise looked futuristic, but behind the scenes, it was built from leftovers. Recycled sets, repurposed props, pieces from other productions. The future was assembled from the past leftovers. And yet audiences believed it. Completely. Because belief doesn't come from budget. It comes from commitment. 8. The greatest episode sparked a war. Harlan Ellison wrote, what many consider the greatest episode of the series. A story about time travel, sacrifice, and moral consequence. But it was too expensive. Too complex. The script was rewritten. Ellison never accepted it. He spent decades fighting the changes, publicly, relentlessly. The episode became legendary. The conflict never ended. 7. The metaphor was the message. In the 1960s, you couldn't openly discuss racial or political conflict on network TV. So Star Trek didn't. Not directly. Instead, it used aliens. Alien conflicts became racial conflicts. Planetary politics mirrored the Cold War. The metaphor wasn't decoration. It was strategy. The network saw science fiction. The audience saw the truth. 6. They sabotaged takes to make history. 1968. Plato's Stepchildren. Kirk and Uhura shared what is widely considered the first interracial kiss on American television. The network was nervous. Affiliates threatened to refuse it. So during filming, Shatner and Nichols made a choice. In takes without the kiss, they performed badly. On purpose. Only the real version was usable. They didn't just make history. They made sure it couldn't be undone. 5. Fans changed television forever. After season 2, NBC canceled the show. But this time, something different happened. Fans organized. Not casually. Not quietly. They sent over 1 million letters. NBC reversed the decision. Season 3 happened. But more importantly, a new idea was born. Fans could fight back and win. Every fan campaign since traces back to this moment. For the wrong man got the ears. DeForest Kelley was offered Spock. He turned it down. Leonard Nimoy took the role instead. Kelly became Dr. McCoy, the emotional core of the show. Logic and emotion found their perfect balance. What looked like a casting accident became perfection. 3. Fans renamed the space shuttle. NASA planned to name its first shuttle Constitution. Fans had other ideas. They wrote letters. Again, the name was changed to Enterprise. At the 1976 rollout, the cast stood beside a real spacecraft carrying the name of their fictional ship. A canceled TV show had influenced real-world space history. 2. The Klingon were the Soviets. The Klingon weren't just aliens. They were a metaphor, a stand-in for the Soviet Union. During the Cold War, the Federation represented American ideals. Their conflicts weren't just stories. They were political arguments, hidden in plain sight. The network saw costumes. The audience saw meaning. 1. A failure that built the future. From a rejected pilot, to a canceled series, to a global phenomenon, Star Trek didn't just predict the future. It inspired the people who built it. Scientists, engineers, dreamers. One episode at a time. A show nobody understood. A show nobody could kill. A failure that succeeded forever. Which fact changed the way you see it? Tell us below. Live long and prosper.